Welcome in to Through the Whistle. I'm Ty Belcher, and I'm with Kevon, who wanted to match me today, kind of, sort of. Shout out to the color schemes. But we are in for another great show. NFL starts this week. It's football. We're so back. We're so motherfucking back. But, Kevon, we're going to go ahead and get straight into this. I've anointed the Chiefs as your boys. Those are your boys.
They are my boys.
I need you to stop. The Cowboys are my favorite team.
They are my favorite team. They are my favorite team.
But Kevon,
Patrick Mahomes is my guy, though. It's my guy.
Kevon, what did you preface this with? If what happens, you're not going to support the Cowboys.
Oh, if Dak Prescott gets signed to the largest deal in America, then I will not be partaking in Cowboys fandom. I mean,
so go ahead and switch over completely.
What do you mean? We haven't paid him.
It's kind of like, to put this in relationship terms, we're going to turn into a relationship podcast real quick. It's like when you start dating somebody, you slowly move in, you leave a toothbrush, leave some clothes there, and you then like, boom, now I live there. That's you with Chiefs. You moved your toothbrush over there because you were.
Because I was the first one to call Mahomes the guy?
No, not even that. You started before that. You got on the hype train with Tyreek Hill early.
I was.
Like, when Alex Smith was there.
Yes, because Tyreek Hill was like that.
That was your toothbrush.
He was a top
then it's,
3 receiver.
Oh, I left some shorts and a hoodie over there when Patrick Mahomes got there. The Monday Night Football game happened. Oh, my sweatpants. Oh, the year later they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm just going to stay here a couple nights a week. Just move in. Come on, just move in. Just move into the Chiefs kingdom.
Those are my guys.
Yes.
Pat Mahomes is specifically the person that I root for the most, but I'm still with only a CeeDee Lamb jersey and more other Cowboys.
Shout out to the CeeDee Lamb jersey.
Exactly. And Cowboys, gear. I have no Chiefs gear. So, therefore, I am still with my dogs in the Cowboys. Not really happy about this upcoming season, but Pat Mahomes is a guy.
Paper pop.
Yeah.
Josh Pate. Let's go ahead and get into it. Kevon. Many have tried. Viewers watching, many have tried. I'd count 31 teams that have tried. Who's going to have the best chance of stopping this first three-peat in NFL history? Who has the best chance?
I mean, if we are being honest, it's nobody. But, I mean, that's completely honest. You want to talk about, Houston's going to be the one. C.J. Stroud just couldn't even beat Baltimore last season. Baltimore might be the only one that might have a chance only because they have a quarterback that is a difference maker that nobody really has anything to answer for. Don't get me wrong. Lamar struggles a little bit in playoffs. Just a tad bit, just a little diminished, just a little one.
A little bit?
Just a little.
He's literally the James Harden of the NFL.
Okay, that's fine. You can say that. Okay, for now. You can say that for now.
It's been, 6 years?
But last year.
Yes.
They were only down by, 4? They were going in for the touchdown. Before Zay Flowers fumbled, they were about to take the lead or tie up the game.
Wait, are you talking about an NFL playoff game or are you talking about darts? Because being close doesn't do nothing for you.
And yet
being close does nothing for you.
And yet we're talking about who's going to be the one that's stopping the Chiefs. Because barely counts, right? Barely
doesn't count, and that's why we're having this conversation. The conversation is who can stop the Chiefs.
Nobody.
And barely doesn't count, because if that was the case, we'd be like, the Niners dethroned the Chiefs. They were close.
But they can't.
But no,
nobody
because Brock Purdy's mid. But
nobody can.
There's no need to talk down to Brock Purdy. We all know he's mid.
So then, what are we talking about right now? We're talking about a team that the only reason they don't have a three-peat already is because Pat Mahomes had one of his worst halves in his career against the Bengals. That's literally the only reason. So what are we talking about?
I'm going to bite my tongue because I'm not going to spoil nothing for later.
What do you mean? So then, if we're talking about the only person that's beat this man, it's Joe Burrow.
Joe Beasy.
We're talking about Joe Burrow. He about to come beat him this year because I saw our defense, what they got. It ain't it. It ain't it. If it's the same defense from last year, it ain't it. I'll say this: the Ravens, I think, are the best team. Houston, I don't think that they're ready. I think that next year, I think they'll be them. But this year, C.J. Stroud, yes, more weapons. I just don't think that defense can hold up against what Patrick Mahomes would do. And plus, I don't know. We're talking about a defense with Kansas City that's top 3. What was the whole thing of how people were beating Pat Mahomes the first time in his first go around with Brady? His defense was terrible. His defense was awful. Even when his defense was trash, he still beat Josh Allen in 13 seconds.
Please don't bring up
Josh Allen. At what point are we just going to sit there and say they can start their season in the second to last week of the year?
Just like the Patriots. Just like the Patriots used to.
That's it. It's been every AFC championship since he started. Mm-hmm. And we keep on doubting this man. Why?
The same reason why you keep believing in the Ravens. Kevon, what did the Ravens
do? I don't believe in them.
Well, you said they're the best team.
Kevon, they're the best chance.
What did the Ravens do to make you believe in them? What were they struggling in last year? What did they do to improve on what they struggled with last year to be better this year?
What they did not do last year to beat the Chiefs, they didn't run the ball. Now you add Derrick Henry. What did
Derrick Henry do last year, Kevon?
But you're going to be forced to run the ball when you have Derrick Henry in the game. He's not coming in there to pass block. He's not. So then what we're doing is we're going to sit there and force you to commit to either him or Lamar. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry's never ran with somebody that's a better runner than him. Now he is. In the same backfield.
So I have a question. So Kevon, are you telling me, we all know the Ravens receiving core.
Yeah.
So you're telling me teams can't get away with just stacking the box and going man-to-man with the receivers?
I'm pretty sure that's what they did last year. It's basically what they forced him to run, to pass. He had a mediocre completion rating. I think his yards were fine. But then again, like I said, we see Zay Flowers going into the end zone and fumbles. That was basically it. And then he throws an interception, a terrible interception to end the game. But still a chance to make that game a game and them sit there and win it. You have Lamar Jackson literally playing one of his worst games in the NFL in that season.
But Kevon, when do all of his worst games always come?
It's
always in his last game of the season, Kevon. So you have to stop with this Lamar stuff, bruh. You have to. You keep falling for it. It's like Kyle Pitts in fantasy football. Stop falling for it. Kevon,
every year he's improved. He's improved. You said at the same time, his first season after the Chargers lost, he got his first playoff win. And then guess what? Then he got to the second round. He lost.
Whoa. He did not win his first playoff game that year after. He lost to the Titans.
You're right. He lost it.
He couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah, you're right. He lost his MVP season. And then that next season, he did win that second round.
And what did the Bills do to him in the second round? Put belt to bottom.
Yeah, he did.
Keep it PG. My mom's watching.
And guess what? After that season, he got hurt the next 2 years. And then now, last year, he's improved and got to the AFC Championship. So we're going to keep on. He's going to keep on rising. What has he done? What hasn't he done that everybody else has done besides Joe Burrow, and that's losing the Super Bowl? Name any other AFC quarterback that's played Patrick Mahomes that hasn't done exactly what he's done.
Hold on.
Josh Allen.
Hold on. Let me.
That's great.
Hold on. Let me look my notes. Oh, this team not about to talk about right now. The Houston Texans are going to be added.
The same Houston Texans
C.J. Stroud's about to get added to that list.
He lost to them last year.
Yes, he lost to them. We know. And yes, you said C.J. Stroud couldn't get done. He's a rookie. Hey.
So now
he had a playoff win.
Now he's a rookie.
He had a good playoff win against the Browns. Yes, I understand. The Ravens defense, the D coordinator, guess where he came from? Came from Michigan. And guess who he was beating when he was at Michigan? He was beating C.J. Stroud. Something about that defense, that whole cover 3 scheme, cover 4 scheme that they run is does something to C.J. Makes no sense. But unlike the Ravens, that's what the Texans went out there and did.
They got better.
How do we?
They got better.
Dang, Tank Dell got hurt last year, so let's bring in another guy to make sure that we have weapons all over the field. Okay, Stephon Diggs, come get over here. Let's trade a bag of hot fries over here. Not even the full big bag, the family size. We're gonna give you the little two for $4 now.
Snack
crazy.
size.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with the prices? But okay, let's dominate time of possession, run the ball. Joe Mixon, why don't you get over here in the free agency?
Joe Mixon.
Let's get over here in free agency. You can, because you're a good pass catcher out the backfield. Okay, come over here. This other guy we drafted last year, Will Anderson. How about we give him some help?
Solid.
Danielle Hunter, get over here. So they've improved. I mean, even if Jeff Okuda's mid this year, he's good, still decent enough cornerback to the guard, Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm okay with that.
My God.
But that's neither here nor there.
Oh my goodness.
As long as the Texans literally got better across the board, better at pass rushing. What do you need to do to stop Patrick Mahomes? You need to be able to get home with 4 people. Right or wrong. You need to be able to get a pass rush there with 4 people. That's what the Bengals did. Right or wrong. That's how you beat good quarterbacks. You send 4, and guess what? You get the freaking pressure on them. You get a sack, cause them to throw bad balls.
I rebuke the Bengals stopping Patrick Mahomes in what you're trying to make it seem like. He legitimately had his worst half, like I said.
Yes.
And I don't think it was because of what the Bengals were doing. I think it was because of what Patrick Mahomes was doing. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, the same guy that threw a little screen pass to Tyreek Hill with 5 seconds left in the first half with no timeouts. So again, would you say that's because of the Bengals or that's because of Patrick Mahomes tweaking?
I have a question. Let's do a Venn diagram. Let's just do a Venn diagram. What did both that Bengals team and this Texans team have? They both have, let me do the math. A quarterback in year 2. Okay. Oh, a quarterback from Don from Ohio State. Venn diagram. I mean, yeah. Running back, Joe Mixon. Oh, let's bring him in. We have 2,000-yard receivers. With a third receiver who is also very capable of another 1,000-yard season.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like what the Bengals had with Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Okay. Does the similarity start there? No. How about we have a D line that has 2 great edge rushers who can get pressure, who average 10 sacks a season? Who also has that, just like the Bengals did? Oh, yeah, the Texans. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that the Houston Texans don't have, if not the best, at worst, the second best chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, but we're talking about the first. We're talking about the first.
And I think the Houston Texans have the first. If not, the Cincinnati Bengals. This is the healthiest Joe Burrow has been to start the season in what? 3 years?
Oh, my God.
Like, what are we talking about? He's not coming in with a nagging ankle injury, a nagging knee injury, a nagging shoulder injury, tonsillitis. Like, what's...
But you want to know what he's coming in with? Without his number 1 guy. That's what he's doing.
That's cool, what he's doing. But guess where that number 1 guy was today? He was at practice. Not
doing
a game,
individual work. Doing individual work. Is he playing? Is he playing on Sunday? Is he playing? Yes or no? Just tell me the answer. Do you know the answer?
Do you know the number 1?
Do you know the
guys
answer?
who were number 1? Alan, a great person who wore number 1 back in the olden days, said, talking about practice? Not a game, not a scrimmage, but practice? Jamar Chase is going to be
Is he playing week 1?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, he's going to play week 1.
Are you going to put your money where your mouth is and say that Jamar Chase is going to
start week 1? I promise you he is.
I'm
not worried.
We'll see.
I'm not worried. Jamar's going to be out there. He already has rapport with Joe. He's been playing with him for 17 years.
Okay.
On top of that, this is basically the last dance. This is literally the last dance.
No, it's the last dance.
T. Higgins is out of there. We all know T. Higgins is gone. He's not coming back. We know. They don't have the money for it. G. Golly O'Malley. Trey Henderson is probably gone. It's now or never. This cap number is like get really real. This is not the Saints where you can just, what? This is not a cap number. Don't look over there. Just
Ty.
Like,
I
no,
need you to understand.
the Bengals have it. Houston have the best chance. The Bengals are the only team that who consistently beat the Chiefs. It took a
consistently.
Yes.
Are we talking about? So we're bringing in regular season to this. So
they should have been in an NFC Championship game in 2023. What are we talking about?
What makes you say that?
It took them calling an unnecessary roughness penalty when Patrick Mahomes got.
Yes.
Oh.
And yet.
Technical.
And yet you're
Flagrant one.
talking about a 2022 season where the Chiefs defense was nowhere close to as good as what it is now, or the year before that. And we're talking about that game went into overtime.
Kevon,
Patrick Mahomes played terrible. They still went into overtime, and yet it took them getting a deflection off a Tyreek Hill pass and them getting a pick, and them still having to only win by 3 points.
would you not say Joe Burrow played one of probably his worst playoff game of his whole career that game? Because he didn't do nothing that game.
And Patrick Mahomes did what?
He played his best. It took Patrick Mahomes at his best
Are
and
you
Joe
talking
at
about
his worst.
the game they won? The game they won.
The game that the Chiefs got bailed out on.
Okay,
yes.
so then what about the year before that when you're giving all this praise to the same thing? To the same thing. That's exactly what you're doing. You're sitting there giving credit to Joe Burrow for the 2022 win, but not giving credit to Patrick Mahomes for the 2023 win. I mean, it's the same thing. You're saying Joe Burrow played terrible in a 2023 season, and yet Patrick Mahomes played his worst half of his career in the playoffs against the Bengals in that second half.
Look,
and their defense was terrible.
You know what? We're going to agree to disagree.
There's no team. There's no team.
Before we move forward,
the only team that can beat them is the Chiefs.
So who do you have winning on season opener? Chiefs, Ravens. Kevon, don't you dare say some dumb stuff. Because I know we don't have a little rundown on the side. We don't have that. That's too much money. We're going to have a betting segment, but it's outside the betting segment. Kevon, who is winning this game tomorrow? Chiefs are minus 3.5 point favorites. Please don't say nothing stupid. Please don't say something stupid. Because I don't feel like defending this man today. So I'm gonna let you say it, and we better be on the right. We better be on the same exact side. So Kevon, drum roll, please. Who's winning tomorrow? Or today? Depends on when it's edited.
I think the Ravens might win this.
Johnny, you're taking over.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
The Ravens might be the one.
No.
You're telling me that. Listen, they're coming in. They're coming in. They're coming in. The thing that used to make the Chiefs so crazy is the fact that in September they were always dominant. They didn't lose. That changed. Where did it start at? When they lost to who? To Lamar Jackson. We're talking about to Lamar Jackson, the team that the one player that nobody has an answer for as far as being able to scheme for, especially when it comes to the regular season. When the regular season is in it, you can talk all that stuff about the playoffs, but when it comes to him in the regular season, he doesn't lose. And the only person that wins more than him is the person he's going up against. And yes, I get that. But him going, Patrick Mahomes, getting their rings, they're probably not going to take anything serious. The Ravens.
They're not going to take nothing serious?
I'm just saying.
Everybody in the
locker
room is saying Super Bowl or bust this year. They all want to be the first 3-peat in NFL history. Kevon, how are they not taking it serious?
They lost last season.
This is a game that can decide the number one
seed.
seed. How is this not a serious game for the Chiefs?
Would you say that last season against the Lions that...
Yes, they look past it because it's the Lions. Everybody thinks it's the same old Lions, and guess what? The Lions improved. Kevon, this is the Baltimore Ravens who everybody say, is this the year the Ravens are going to do it? Lamar gets over the hill. I don't care. No. They're going to take this game serious. Kevon.
How do you think they're going to stop this run game? That's all I want to know.
Oh, trust me. They have this guy who, by all accounts, is the best interior D lineman in football.
Okay.
If only he was good in the run. Oh, wait. He is a great run-stopping D tackle as well. What usually happens when a star player moves to a new team, they usually try to force feed them the first game. So how about this? Like you said, Chiefs had a top third defense. I would say probably top 5 defense from last year. They lose Snead, but I guess I don't think that's really going to affect them this year.
They retained a lot.
I don't think that's really going to affect them in this game because I'm not worried about Zay Flowers. I'm sorry.
You should be.
So you're telling me Chiefs with 7 people in the box can't stop Derrick Henry? I've seen the Giants stop Derrick Henry when we were super mid.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry for saying we.
I'm just saying.
I'm off the Giants.
It might be
this year. I'm sorry.
I would not be surprised if the Chiefs won, but I just think the Ravens are coming in here with more of an edge, more of a revenge factor, and they're going to sit there and try to right the wrong from last season. That's it. I will be happily surprised if the Chiefs win, but I'll be happy. I will be happy.
We're gonna go ahead and take a little short break. I don't know. This man just made me defend Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I don't know. We'll be back after this. I'm sorry. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Welcome back in Through the Whistle, episode Tres, NFL preview. Look at that. We finally made it.
Yeah, all the bad times.
We're in the dark days.
Yeah.
6 months of no football.
Summer. It's not fun.
It's 104 days of summer vacations, and football came along just to save it. Thank God.
Yes.
Kevon, you noticed that. We don't know if the viewers noticed that. There's at least 4. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Un, deux, trois, quatre. It's French.
You know how to.
Yeah, I can count in French. I can count in French. I'm a little trilingual. New NFL playoff teams every season. There is at minimum 4 new playoff teams every year. Kevon, who are your 4 new playoff teams this year?
So, I actually have 5.
5. Ooh.
5.
Extra credit.
The Bengals have the easiest schedule out of the AFC North. I think that gives them,
which is so crazy.
Yeah, I mean that alone puts them probably in the driver's seat to make them get into the playoffs, give them an easy pass in there. The Jets, I think that I am going to buy a little bit into the hype, and I think with them having all that addition that you're talking about, the Houston Texans got, I think that the Jets got pretty much the same thing. If they can get, especially if they can get Riddick to come back onto that D line, that defense is always going to be good. But if Aaron Rodgers just, even if he's as good as he was, which I think was not that great in Green Bay his last season, but even if he's that, that's still getting them more than a lot more than what they got last year.
Imagine Mike Williams can even get that 800 yards receiving this year.
So,
oh, my God.
And I can only imagine what Garrett Wilson's going to do with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. So I can only imagine.
You told me he's an improvement over Zach Wilson? Who would have thought?
So we got 2 right there. The Falcons, I think that's easy. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they don't need to talk about that one.
Yeah. NFC South.
NFC South. What? Would you say that they're the worst division in football?
Probably the worst division in football, yeah.
Bars the floor.
And then for my 2 teams that people might not have, I think I'm going to buy into the Jim Harbaugh hype, which, I mean, I've always been a fan of Jim Harbaugh. You, good sir, hopped off that train
So why do you think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs?
I'm just saying that
NFL previews.
You hopped off that train and you wanted him fired. I'm just saying, but that's besides the point.
COVID was weird time. That COVID brain.
Yeah, right. I told you that y'all should have kept him. He was y'all's best coach. But Justin Herbert, though they don't have the receivers, I am disgusted about what is going on there outside. I feel like I can go play. But that's besides the point.
If you put that knee brace on, get out there.
But the defense is always going to be, that's the first thing that Jim Harbaugh always takes up a notch. That run defense and that pass defense, I think, is going to improve, especially with the names that they got, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and then you got Derwin James in the backfield. I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
The run game is where I think it's going to be insane and explosively way better. You add with Slater and they're going with Joe Alt coming in from the draft,
wasn't moving.
They're going to be pushing on people.
What does Jim like to do?
Yeah, and
what does Jim like to do?
And then you add somebody like Gus Edwards from the Ravens, where he's already used to a system like that, and then you add J.K. Dobbins, which hopefully he can just regain his first couple steps.
700 yards.
I'm just saying.
700 yard performance this year.
And then if you have that, the play action game is score to be. This is probably the best quarterback. It's not even probably. This is going to be the best quarterback Jim Harbaugh's ever had. And so, yes, including over J.J. McCarthy. But
blasphemy.
The play action game is going to be there. It's going to attack people, and they're going to sit there and be like, listen, we got to stop the run game. But when you got an arm like Justin Herbert just sitting there waiting for you to, everybody, just come on in. Just stop this run game. And then we put it over the top.
And you got Ladd McConkey who's out there round people up.
Listen,
Wide open. Oh my God.
it's gonna be nice. So I think they're gonna sneak into the playoffs and probably be like one of the last 2 seasons in the wild card. And
Go ahead.
I might
Come on.
I might say that Caleb Williams might get to the playoffs.
What do you mean, might?
Just maybe.
We don't do maybes.
They were able to win
We don't
7
do
games last
maybes.
season. They were able to win 7 games last season.
With like a mediocre quarterback?
Yeah, I want to say mediocre. But they improved a lot more onto the offensive end, adding the weapons that they did. And then the defense is always going to be smooth. So, yes, I believe Caleb is a better quarterback than Justin. So, I see that team at least winning at least 9 games, maybe pushing us 10th. And then they stick in the playoffs. I think that's it.
It's valid. Let's bring the Venn diagram back up. I'm not making the Venn diagram line. But, Kevon, like you said, we both have the Jets. I think the Jets win the AFC East. You know, kind of a bottom of the barrel schedule, third place schedule. Aaron Rodgers comes back. You just need someone with a pulse to be an improvement from last year.
Yeah.
Like, geez. Like, Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers at his worst day.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit bigger gap than that. Falcons, like we both said, NFC South.
Who cares?
Get out of here. This Bengals, like you said, Joe Burrow coming back, last place schedule. Oh, easy. Pencil him in. Joe stays healthy. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Even Jamar misses the first couple games. Who cares? They've dropped behind. They've been behind early in basically every season that Joe started the whole season. They made it to the playoffs. Who cares? Now you had 5. I have 6.
Okay, now you're tripping.
Overachiever.
Now you're tripping.
Always got extra credit in high school.
No, you didn't.
Not in college, though.
No, you didn't.
C's get degrees. But my first one, my fault for the evil laugh. All right, I lied, it's 5. The Washington Commanders make the playoffs. The Washington Commanders.
I'm hoping.
The Washington Commanders make the playoffs because
hopefully
I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to dip my toe in both sides. Because I have the Cowboys missing the playoffs.
Good.
I think the Cowboys dig themselves in a hole.
I hope so.
Even though Dak is my fantasy quarterback. Need some big yards this year, Dak. I think at some point towards the end of the season, the locker room just completely turns on him. McCarthy probably gets fired before the end of the season. In the ideal world, for some of you Cowboy fans, Dak doesn't get this contract. Locker room flips on them because they all love Michael Parsons. We all know you can't get Micah and you can't keep Dak. You can't. That can't be a Venn diagram. Both of those things cannot happen. So I'm going, and y'all always find a way to lose to the Commanders every year. Yeah. Every year. Y'all lost to Sam Howell. Back-to-back years. Have some self-respect. Cowboys miss the playoffs. Commanders into the playoffs. And like you said, freaking Bears. The Bears are making the playoffs. Like, is that rocket science?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't see how because, yes, probably the second toughest division in football. Yeah. NFC North is insane.
I would say AFC North is up there.
AFC North number 1. NFC North number 2. Number 3, I'll probably go AFC East. Yeah. Then keep working way down. But that's besides the point. The Bears, 7-win team last year with some mid-out quarterback. Got better offensively. Brought in Roma Dunes, from the draft. Brought in Keenan Allen to go with a 1K receiver and DJ Moore. Bears make it. I think they're probably – I wouldn't say they're going to win the division because that's high expectations for a rookie quarterback. That's insane. But I do think that they will make the playoffs. And the playoff team that whose spot they take will be the Rams, which I'm not going – it's not a spoiler. It's a prediction. I'm not going to say that that's an important team to someone later on in the show. But I don't think the Rams made the playoffs. You lose your best defensive player. The defense is already, I'm sorry, I got to take a step back.
Okay.
But another team who I have missing the playoffs, James, go ahead and comment below. I know you're going to get the yapping all in the group chat. The Bills aren't making the playoffs.
Well,
They're not making the playoffs.
You had to take last year.
I had this take last year, like you said. I was so close.
You were.
I was so close to being right. But no, the Dolphins want to collapse, want to be the Dolphins. Like,
yeah. And I don't know why you think that's going to change, honestly.
It doesn't matter because I also have the Dolphins not making it. I have the Dolphins and the Bills not making it. The Jets, the Bills lost so much. I know the Jets haven't won in Buffalo since Josh Allen's been there. Or I think it's just after Josh Allen's first season there. The Bills lost so much. Like, yes, Josh Allen's a top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback. You lose your best receiver. Is that a positive or negative thing, Kimon? Pretty negative. You lose your best corner in Trey White. You lose your all-pro safety.
Trey White, I mean, Trey, you
So you're just getting worse, and you barely made the playoffs last year. So, Bills, I'm sorry. No, I mean, Josh, you want to come onto the show in the playoffs, you'll have a lot of time. Keon Coleman, you can definitely be a guest on the show. My dog, I believe in you. 800 yards on a parlay. Need that. But now we got the playoff teams. Let's get egregious. I know yours is not going to be as interesting as mine. I know that for a fact. My Super Bowl prediction. I have 2 options. 2 scenarios that are very plausible.
Why 2 scenarios? What happened to we're not doing those?
Because I have to have a backup. I'm like Batman. I have a contingency plan for everything. If he can make it through the season, Bengals versus Lions in the Super Bowl. Bengals win. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go, Bengals. Let's do it. Johnny approves over there. Bengals make it. And they finish the story like Cody Rhodes. Joe Burrow dyed his hair blonde just like Cody Rhodes. Hey, let's finish the story. Bengals, Lions. But, if Joe or anything else goes wrong, give myself some wiggle room, the Texans are making the Super Bowl. Texans, Lions, Super Bowl. And get to the Lions. Lions win their first ever Super Bowl. Detroit probably gets pushed into whatever Great Lake they want to push it into. Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Huron. It's the 5th one, I think.
I'm tired.
So, keep on. Go ahead and give your Super Bowl prediction.
I'm truly tired.
Give your Super Bowl prediction.
Am.
Because
at some point.
Go ahead and put that bet in.
At some point.
Texans, Lions.
Y'all got to stop. It has to stop. It has to.
You're right. It has to stop. The Kansas City run has to stop.
The disrespect of Patrick Mahomes has to stop.
How is it disrespect for thinking that he won't make his third Super Bowl?
Who do you have the Bengals beating in the AFC Championship?
I have the Bengals beating the Texans.
Okay. So then, we're talking about you disrespecting the Chiefs when, again, as I mentioned earlier, Patrick Mahomes has never not known what an AFC Championship is. He's never not known. He's never not known.
It's okay.
He's not going to start this year. You just sat there and...
Yeah, so because he's going to start next year. That's when the playoffs start.
You started this entire nonsense of this show with the Houston Texans got better. The Houston Texans, they did this, they did this, they did this, they did this.
How the Texans being the...
Yes or no?
How the Texans being the Chiefs in the second round?
I'm going to ask you simple questions. I'm going to ask you simple yes or no questions.
Let me lock in.
Did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl last year?
Yes.
Was the Chiefs' offense terrible last year? Compared to what Patrick Mahomes has played with the years that Patrick Mahomes has played, was this his worst offense?
Yes, he didn't have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
So this was his worst offense last year. This was his worst offense last season.
Yes.
And still won a Super Bowl.
I cannot lie, America.
Okay. So, everything you just said about the Texans, does that apply to the Chiefs? Yes or no? Did they get better on offensive end? Yes or no?
What, Xavier Worthy?
Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. We're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, he brought up TikTok boy.
Oh, my gosh. Yes or
The
no?
Bengals not coming to Patriots with no receivers?
Second season of Rasheed Rice. And Travis Kelce might be his last ride. Yeah, well, it looks like he is. It looks like he's not getting suspended until probably next year. But
boy, oh boy.
Yes or no, would you take this receiving core over the receiving core they had last season?
Yeah.
Would you not say it's more explosive than what they were last season?
That's
as
fine,
far
yes.
as speed-wise. So I ask one more time. If Patrick Mahomes was able to do it with that weak stuff that was going on last year where they led the league in drops, where they were basically god-awful as a receiving core, and then got better,
Yes.
what in God's blue earth do you think that this man is not about to go back? I don't get it. You're talking about, first of all, I want to dismantle this Bengals take from every aspect. You're talking about the Bengals. The only reason you have the Bengals beating them is because of the simple fact that you think that Joe Burrow has a little edge or whatever it is with
Finish
Patrick
the story.
Mahomes. He 1-1. He's 1-1. And as we talked about, the man won that first time against a worse Chiefs defense that they have now, and again, Patrick Mahomes playing his worst. So let's follow that up with that following season. Patrick Mahomes, better defense, he wins the game. You know who he beat Joe Burrow with that season? Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, Travis Kelce, of course. I mean,
Travis Kelce was still a 1,300-yard receiver. What tight end?
We're talking about.
So you're telling me I'm just talking in circles every year?
At this point, we have to just admit it, pencil them in. They're in Super Bowl. It's about the simple fact. Are they going to win it this year? Yes or no? Are they going to be when they wait. Super Bowl? Are they going to win it?
Winning again? Who do you have them winning it against? Who do you have them winning it against? It's not like you're 15 Pete for the Chiefs.
Not 15 Pete. I don't even think they're going to win it the following year. This is going to be their last
three.
Year.
Oh yeah.
3-Peat. Yes, they're
going to be the very
that,
common 3-Peat in football. That's never happened.
No, and that's why I think that's going to happen because somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it, and the only reason that Tom Brady didn't do it is because they lost to the freaking Eagles when he played probably his best game ever. But that's besides the point. Patrick Mahomes.
You say that like they didn't take them being bailed against the Seahawks.
Patrick Mahomes is chasing one person. He's chasing one. And guess what?
LeBron.
People are going to sit there and say, if he does this, he has a chance. You don't think that he's going to take that as motivation to sit there and make sure that he's going to be in that Super Bowl? I don't know why the hell you think that Joe Burrow is going to stop him from doing that. But that defense isn't.
He's done it before.
And guess what? And
he should have done it the second time.
And guess what? He should have never did it the first time. He should have did it.
So, Kevon, who are they beating? Who are they beating? Who are they beating on this magical Cinderella run, this Taylor Swift level run? You better hope that Taylor Swift doesn't break up with Travis Kelce and drop
the team that you think is not making the playoffs.
I know you're not talking about no Dayton Cowboys.
The Rams. The Los Angeles Rams are going to the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm glad you said the Rams are not the Cowboys because I'm about to say, Kevon Belcher, if you say the Cowboys, I might throw the tape right.
Are going to the Super Bowl. And I wholeheartedly believe this because, for one, Stafford is coming back. He's coming back with his – Cooper Kupp wasn't healthy at the beginning of the season. So that we know that. You
haven't seen Cooper Kupp be healthy since he won Triple Crown.
The offense is going to be good. We already know Sean McVay, he's going to make the offense good.
I think Blake Corum might be able to.
I
think he might be the starting spot at some point.
Defense got worse with Aaron Donald.
Substantially
worse.
But
yes, they also added Verse from Florida State. Mm-hmm. He's going to make a difference. And just the person that you was just talking about the Bills lost, guess where he went? To the Rams.
I think he went out to LA. He's going back to Cali.
I think the Rams defense, they were young last season. They take another step up. They get all those rookies and those second-year players to get another year of growth. And again, we're talking about the Rams who are only lost to the Lions last season by a touchdown. So it's not like they were that far off.
So, Kevon, what team in the NFC has been in the NFC Championship game for the better part of the last 5 years?
The Niners.
And who can't the Rams ever beat?
The Niners.
Who doesn't?
They beat them to get to. They
took Jimmy G throwing the worst ball I've ever seen. It took a drop interception. Like, it literally.
Yeah.
How did he drop it?
Gotcha.
But how do you see them beating them? How do you, how?
I don't think that the Niners.
How do you see the Rams make
I don't think the Niners are going to be healthy this season. That's just me. I don't think that they're going to be healthy. I don't think that this Christian McCaffrey has never been healthy 3 years in a row. Period.
He was never healthy 2 years in a row.
Debo gets hurt every season. Kittle, hopefully he stays healthy.
He also never plays a full season. Well, never healthy a full season.
And if you're telling me that Brock Purdy is going to be the one that's going to lead them to the Super Bowl again, well, not again, but he's going to lead them with people hurt.
So mad.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. So, I think that the Niners might lose to the Lions or somebody else in their path because
get back in blood.
Yeah. So, that's what I got.
So you're telling me that this is literally what the Super Bowl matchup that's avoided us twice already?
Yeah.
There's no way that you think that is not off. Cooper Kupp's going to be healthy now. He's ready. His knees are. Matt Stafford's going to make it through the whole season.
He doesn't need the pressure of being the number one receiver anymore. He has Puka Nacua. We're going to be fine. We'll be fine.
This is on the internet. They say is forever.
Yes.
So, in 3 months, when it's early December, it's chilly out there.
And you realize that.
It's a wind chill of like 5 degrees out in Columbus, Ohio.
And you realize that.
And you see that the Rams playoff hopes are basically in the toilet next to the Cowboys.
Crazy.
I'm gonna pull this clip up. We're gonna lead the show with it.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna lead the show with you saying the Rams are going to make the Super Bowl.
As long as we can start the show when Patrick Mahomes is in the Super Bowl again, that we can start with.
I will wear a Patrick Mahomes jersey if they made the Super Bowl.
Cool.
I'm not shaking on that.
Cool.
You know what? No, I will shake it on. The viewers deserve. That was a bad handshake. The viewers deserve honesty. But on the other side of that, if they don't win the Super Bowl, even if they don't play the Bills on the way there, if they don't make the Super Bowl, you gotta wear a Josh Allen jersey.
No, it's not happening. Not happening. Because we're not doing the simple fact of.
All right, whoa. Okay.
I'll do you one better. If they don't make the Super Bowl, then we can talk about something. We don't have to talk about.
Can we make a bet for if the Cowboys don't make the playoffs?
No.
You gotta wear a Commanders jersey.
I'm hoping that we don't make the playoffs because I want Shedeur Sanders and a Cowboys jersey. That's what I want.
He won't be there.
That's what I want.
He won't be there for y'all to even pick on.
I want us in the top 5.
You won't.
I want us in the top 5.
My Giants, whose color scheme I'm wearing today, they will be that top 5.
Just saying.
But that concludes our NFL portion of the show. Be back after a short break. Break down some Week 2 matchups. Thank you for tuning in to episode 3 Through the Whistle Podcast 2.0 NFL preview. In the comments below, drop NFL predictions, any hot takes you have, and your Super Bowl predictions. If they're smart, you'll have the Texans and Lions. If you're not very bright, you'll see the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl again. But anyways, Kevon, real quick, 2 locks for this upcoming Sunday. Wait, no way, you can even throw in Thursday and Friday night's game.
I would say locks for sure will be Falcons money line.
Yes.
And I would probably say the Saints. They play Bryce Young. And if you're telling me that Bryce Young is about to come out here and just look all special and stuff like that, nah.
Not happening.
The one time that I think the Saints are going to, I think they're going to be terrible this year. But I think they can beat the Panthers.
For sure. My 2, very unexpected. But if you look at the stats, first overall picks have not won their opening game since I was born.
I think that changes.
I'm 23 years old.
I think that changes.
So give me Tennessee Titans over the Bears.
I think that changes.
And also give me Kansas City Chiefs -3.5. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with a college football Week 2 preview.